is going on? It's your boy here, back again with another video. If you guys watched my last vlog that was posted on Monday, or if you see the title above or below, however you're watching this video, you know that it is a story time video. I'm going to do this first one and hopefully many more to come as well. If you guys do enjoy this video, if you guys do want to see more, make sure you smash the thumbs up button, leave comments down below, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the post notifications as well so you can be notified when my videos go live. That'll be an indication that I should continue these storytime videos and give you guys more. So with this video, I'm going to try my hardest to make it as quick as possible because it can be a very long, drawn-out story. It was about 5 or 6 years ago that this happened to me. I think it was like 16 or 17 at the time. It was the middle of summer. I was on summer vacation, so I didn't have a job or nothing like that. I was just hanging out with my boys. I was hanging out with my cousin and our 2 friends, so there was 4 of us. And it was probably the most beautiful night that we had all year. I mean, it was just clear skies, the weather was just gorgeous, but we had no plans. We had nothing really going on, so we didn't really know what to do. So we ended up by going to my boy's house, who lives a couple of towns over from me, not far at all, but a town that I never visited, was completely unfamiliar with. We were just kind of going on a walk. They were showing me some stuff around, things like that. So we ended up by going to a convenience store. While we were there, my boy's mom gave him a call and said, "Hey, I'm at the bar. Can you put my roof back on my Jeep?" She took the roof off because the weather was super nice that day, and I guess it was supposed to rain the next day or whatever. So we ended up by walking over there. Now the walk was like, I don't remember where it was, but it was walkable distance, maybe 10-minute walk, very close by. We put the top back on the roof for her and continue on our way. Like, we really didn't have any destination, really didn't have any plans at all. We were just walking, just enjoying the weather. And on the walk, we see 2 dudes sitting on the back of a 4x4 in their driveway listening to music. Looks like a cool scene. Looks like they're just hanging out, enjoying the night. Clearly they were drinking, having a good time. So they confront us on our walk. Basically, they're like, you know, "What do you guys think you're doing over here?" Not in a way of like, "Yo, what are you guys doing?" or "What are you up to?" More of like a "you're not really supposed to be over here, what do you think you're doing?" type of confrontation. So right off the bat, me and my friends were a little intrigued by the situation, a little put off, I guess you can say. And so we kind of answered them like, you know, we're going on a walk. It's really none of your business what we're doing. Nothing that has to do with you, so don't worry about it. So we passed their house and I end up by getting this really weird feeling. So I look over at my boy and I was like, "Yo, can we go back to your house and can I please put on a pair of shoes?" And he was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I just have a really, really bad feeling about tonight. Like, if we're gonna continue walking or being out here, I just feel like something's gonna go down." And the reason why I needed a pair of shoes is because earlier on in the day, I bought a pair of these shoes right here, or these slides, flip-flops, whatever you call them, but you can't run in those. And I just felt like I really was going to I needed to run. So we end up by going back to the house. He does have a pair of shoes for me. I slip those on, I tighten those up. My cousin and my 2 friends, they actually start getting weird feelings as well. They were like, "Dude, you got me feeling some type of way. I feel like something's really gonna go down." So they end up by grabbing some self-defense weapons. I don't remember what they grabbed, a few things, but I think one of them was like a pocket knife and something else. Of course, we didn't have any intentions on starting trouble with anybody. We were just kind of getting ready for if something were to happen to us. Like, we weren't going to do anything. So we get strapped up, as you could say, and then get on our way. We go back on the walk, end up by going past them again, and as mentioned, it's the same situation again. They said, "What do you think you guys are doing?" This time we were like, "Yo, you already asked us, we already told you. We're walking. We're not here to talk to you. We're not here to fuck with nothing. We're just walking. Like, leave us alone. Like, let us do our thing." So they end up by hopping off the bed of the truck, at least one of them. I don't remember what the other dude was doing or what significance he had in the story at all. But the main dude in the story hops off the bed of his truck with something, a gun that was at least this fucking big. Right off the bat, all 4 of us are just fucking stunned, dude. We were like, holy shit. We looked down, saw it, couldn't believe our eyes. So, as I mentioned, this is where me being unfamiliar with the area really comes into play. I had my cousin and 1 friend over here behind a tree. Then I had my other friend right here ready to confront the 2 dudes, basically say what's good. I guess maybe fight them. Maybe, I don't know what his plans were, but he was a little hot-headed. And that was something that I really was torn in between. Yo, do I stay here with this dude and confront him and at least talk to him? Or, I mean, you know, who knows what would have went on if we would have ended up by fighting them, or if we would have ended up by talking to him and calming them down. I don't know. So I was torn between staying with him and having no clue what was going to be going on, or running away with my 2 other friends, which honestly, they had the brightest idea. So my 2 other friends are running, and I'm starting to lose them. I can't see them. They're starting to become invisible because they're running so far away. And as I mentioned, I'm not familiar with the area. I had no idea how to get back to my boy's house. So I'm like sitting there and it's like a movie. I'm like, yo, do I stay? Do I go? Do I stay? Do I go? And if it was any other situation, I would have stayed with my boy no matter what. But because these dudes were clearly drinking and they had a pistol on them, what seemed to be a rifle on them, I didn't want to take the chance of doing anything. So I end up by looking at my boy, and I'm not going to drop no names or nothing just because I don't know how these people feel about the story and me telling it. I'm sure they don't care, but still. I told my boy, I was like, yo, let's go, let's fucking go, let's breeze, yo, let's get out of here. I kept saying it, and he's just sitting there like pressing the two other dudes. I couldn't do it. I really couldn't. I didn't know if my life was gonna end or not, so I end up by breezing. Now, as I'm breezing, I'm still just barely losing them, and I see a garage. This garage is gonna be pretty significant later on in the story. So I see this garage that is wide open, and it is empty, and it's looking like a great place for me to hide out in, basically. Thank the Lord I didn't hide in that garage. I ended up by just running and running and running as fast as I could, end up by actually catching up to my two friends, my cousin and my friend. For a brief while, I surpassed them, because at this point, my adrenaline was pumping like a motherfucker. I swear to God, I was running faster than Ezekiel Elliott and Le'Veon Bell combined. I mean, I was out with the rock. I was out. So me, my cousin, and my friend are out. We're not sure. Nobody's looking behind them. We have no clue if our other boy is alive at this point. We have no clue. We're just trying to get out of Dodge. We're trying to breeze. A lot of the run was a straightaway, so I was very, very scared that I was just going to get shot from behind, and the only thing I could think about was I'm probably going to get shot. So we finally, after what feels like a whole day of running, get to my boy's house. He's got the cement stairs, about 6 or 7 of them maybe. I fucking hop them, I leap over them, get to the top of his steps, open up the door, and this is where things felt like it was slow motion for me. I end up by opening the door, and I didn't want to, but I needed to look behind me. I heard noises, there was people behind me, and I honestly turned my head, and it was either my boy, we're good, or some dude with a gun, I'm fucking dead. So I look behind me, and it's my boy's behind me. Don't know who's behind him, don't know where the dudes with the guns were. I can only imagine they were chasing behind us, and he is just gushing blood from his fucking head. He's shirtless, gushing blood coming all the way down his chest. And I couldn't believe, I mean, I honestly just immediately right off the bat just panicked. I was like, oh my fucking God, dude, what happened? I didn't know if he was shot. I don't know what happened. Thank the Lord he was not shot. He did get pistol whipped, like he got gashed. His head was just gashed. So as soon as we get in the crib, he wants to call somebody else from the bar that his mom was actually with to go back out, find these guys and confront them. And I was like, nah, dude. I mean, me and my boys, and we were back in the day a lot more hot-headed than we are now. And that's something we probably would have done. But I was like, dude, in this situation, you can't. These dudes are obviously drunk. They're obviously armed. Like, this is not something to play around with. So I call the cops. And as I'm calling the cops, I'm tweaking the fuck out. I'm like, yo, what's your fucking address? Like, I was stuttering. It was a mess. So the cops do end up by coming over, calming us down a little bit, telling us that the people are taken into custody. And without mentioning the garage at all, as I said earlier, it would be significant. The cops actually brought up the garage and mentioned that the 2 dudes with the weapons scouted out that garage and were going to be killing whoever was in that garage. I guess the garage was just set up so perfectly that it looked like a perfect hideout. So they thought that one of us were hiding out in that garage, and I was, extremely close to hiding out in that garage. Still to this day, me and my cousin talk about the fact that what if I were to go in that garage? What if I was hidden, but my phone ended up by going off or something, and right then and there my life would have just been done. There's a lot of different ways to look at it. You can look at it as a good thing or a bad thing. I'm very grateful to be alive, of course. There are so many different things that could have happened that night where one wrong decision could very well have ended somebody's life. So it did take us a while to leave the house, but once we did leave the house, we were notified the next morning that the dude was released. I'm not sure, I can only imagine he got bailed out, but he had ended up he was walking the streets. I think he was looking for us the next day because he was actually seen walking around the entire area. He had actually seen my boy's girl, the dude who got pistol whipped in his head. The dude who did the whipping saw his girlfriend and ended up by threatening her and saying that he's going to find us and he's going to, I guess, kill us or whatever. So that was pretty crazy to know that somebody who did something like that could make it out the next day with no issues. The cops did inform us that they were drunk, they were high off of whatever the fuck they were doing, and armed. So in a situation like that, it's definitely pretty scary because most people have weapons to basically show off, and they don't have the intentions on actually using them. But when somebody is under the influence, high, they're drunk, you have no clue what they could possibly do. You don't know how they react to what they're on. That could be somebody's life right there. So that's basically the entire story. Probably the craziest thing that has really ever happened to me, considering we didn't really look for any trouble. We were just simply going on a walk, and that ended up by happening. As I mentioned, it's something that comes to my mind probably 2 or 3 times a week. And so I really did want to tell you guys the story because I think it's a pretty good story, and it taught me incredible amounts of life lessons just from that story alone. Very, very thankful to still be here today. I know the story may not sound all that crazy to some people. It's kind of a story or a situation where you would have to actually be involved in it. You would have to actually be going through it to understand how crazy it was, and to realize that honestly, one slip up or one wrong mistake could have your life ended. Like that garage. If I went into that garage, I was done for. Probably, no doubt. And also my boy, another thing, when he got pistol whipped and went to the ground, he said that the impact was so hard that he actually felt dazed and that he was going to pass out. If he ended up by passing out from the impact of him getting pistol whipped, like who knows what would have happened to him? What would they have done? Would they continue to pistol whip him? Would they have shot and killed him? Like what would they have done? So it's crazy to think about that, but I'm very grateful we're all still here. We're all good, and it's something we can learn from. So I really do hope you guys enjoyed that video. Very excited to tell you guys this story because it's just, like I said, it's just crazy to me, and I like to share it, and basically as more of a lesson to people to just be grateful that you're here. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please slap the like button. As I mentioned in the beginning, comments are always appreciated, shares, favorites, the whole nine, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.